All right, there's 3 things that you can do to create massive success in your home-based business. You ready? The reason I can say this is because I did the opposite of them. It cost me a lot. It hurt me a lot. I didn't have to do it. I shouldn't have done it. But now that I've learned, it's helped us skyrocket, and it's going to help you skyrocket too, okay? Number 1, hours of operation. The crazy thing is in the traditional world, you go to work, you punch in, if you will, you do your job, you punch out. Now, I know some of you have jobs where your boss will call you at any given time. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you go in within the hours of operation that you are going to do your job and get paid for that. You do it, and then you clock out and you go home. Well, when people join a home-based business or they go to work for themselves, they forget that. What I suggest is that you remind yourself of that and have 4-hour bursts. Do 4 hours, or break it in 2. 2 hours, take a break. 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 If you're going to work at 8 hours like you would a normal job, and or just work 4 hours more efficiently. Do more in 4 hours and time it. Make the phone calls, make the posts, create the videos, do the trainings, do your training calls, do presentations sharing your products and your business or your opportunity, or explain the money to people. But do it in 4-hour bursts, hours of operations. Tell your team, if you're somebody that's building a team, tell everybody that talks to you, hey, I work from this to this, and you can get a hold of me between here and here, and stick to it. One of the huge mistakes I made is I never said no. I was always available. I always responded. I never said no to the point where I would have meetings galore, and half the time I didn't even know what the meetings were about because I didn't qualify at first. I was just excited to go to a meeting. I would travel out of state. I would get on these long conference calls. I mean, sometimes the kids would be asleep, my wife would be asleep, and I'm still doing business. And you learn to hate your business. You don't get more done. You don't make more money. You actually start to resent it, and it doesn't become fun because suddenly now you're wearing this heavy, wet blanket around you all the time, and it's exhausting you because you didn't have hours of operation. All right, make sure you do it. I suggest 4-hour bursts, here and here. This is when you can get me, this is when you can't. After that, I'll have to get you the next day. And if you time yourself, you'll get far more done in less time. Number 2, you need to understand the money. Now, sounds obvious, but what I have found is that the vast majority of people that join a home-based business, even people that are in real estate or they've gotten a franchise, heck, they went and got a HELOC on their house and bought a franchise selling sandwiches or something, right? Now they're married to that. It doesn't matter what it is, or they're an independent contractor or a network marketing company specific or whatever. They don't know the compensation. It's like, it's unbelievable to me the number of people that say, hey, I'm just going to do the work, telling everybody about whatever it is or doing the services, and yet it'll all work out. I'm not worried about the money. It'll all work out. Money is not what motivates me. I just like helping people. Excuse me? You're not going to be able to help people like you need to unless you understand the money. Money better motivate you. So I ask people all the time, do you understand the money? Explain it to me. How are you paid? How does your compensation plan work? If you're building organizations and there's overrides involved, how does that work? How do your bonuses work? Okay, are there... Okay, And half the time they go, well, I think it's... And I say, how long have you been in? How long have you owned this company? How long have you been an independent consultant? How long have you been a network marketing company? How long have you been a real estate agent? How long? And they just don't have their head around the money. I'm telling you, it is a huge mistake. You need to be money motivated. I know you want to help people, but you can help far more people if you understand the money. Because the more money you have and the more leverage you have, the more you can actually do, and you can create systems that actually help more people. But it's like a default answer because people still have this strange idea that talking about the money is not okay. So, number 1, hours of operation. Number 2, make sure you understand how you're compensated. Make sure you can explain it to other people. Make sure your spouse knows it. Because if you're pursuing some entrepreneurial endeavor and your spouse does not understand how the money is coming in, and you are busy doing busy work, and you are not getting the quick wins, and you're not getting the successes, and you're exhausted and it's overwhelming you because there's no hours of operation, the money isn't coming in because it's not made front and center, I will tell you, they will either try to fight you to get you to quit doing it. They will use silent communication, something. They're going to try to protect you from yourself. I can't tell you how many spouses are like, yeah, well, that's my wife's thing, or yeah, that's my husband's thing. Well, we'll see. They've been doing it a long time. And it's the saddest thing. Of course, you would hope that the spouse would be the biggest advocate, would grab the reins and say, I absolutely want to partner with you in this thing if you're trying to help build a business to help our family. But yet half the time they're disconnected. It's either because something else is going on, or they have just watched you struggle so long they can't handle it anymore, okay? Make sure you know the money. Make sure you can explain it to everybody. Make sure your teams can explain it. Make sure you can explain it to your spouse, and make sure you keep it front and center. How much money did I make today? Oh, you can calculate it. You can calculate it. How much did I make off of that sale? How much did I make off of that product? How much did I make when that person joined? How much did I make when I sold that house or that sandwich, or somebody joined me in my direct sales network marketing opportunity? All right. And number 3, you've got to make it system dependent, not personality dependent. This is a big one. If you do not create systems, what happens is the blind end up leading the blind. And what I mean is, people do what you duplicate, okay? There's only so many hours in the day. And see, these are all intertwined. Hours of operation, knowing the money, systems dependent, not personality dependent. If you can create systems, videos, PDF documents, a stack of resources that your team, your people, whoever you're talking to, your clients, your customers can have, then what happens is you can send them the information with a brief overview, say once you've reviewed it, or once you've watched the video, or once you've done this, go ahead and have your questions ready and get back with me, and I'll help you through those final answers before we get you started, whatever your decision is, something like that. And what happens is people will disqualify themselves. You'll filter people out by default because many, and I would almost say most people, want it spoon-fed. They won't do it for themselves. But here's the thing. If you create the pattern of giving everybody what they need all the time, they always have you on the phone. They can call you anytime they want to. You're available anytime they need you to be. And let's be real. Let's say you're just a hot mess. You got a lot going on in your life. It's crazy. Or maybe you're not a good messenger. I'm being real, folks. Not everybody is excellent of speech. Not everybody carries themselves with articulate excellence. Not everybody presents themselves with excellence. Actually, the entire world has become sloppier, dirtier, messier, more foul-mouthed, lazier. It's just gotten weird. So if you rise up and become excellent, it's incredible. But a lot of people can't. They're just not skilled in that area yet of being excellent. So, or they're afraid. They may just be simply afraid. I don't know how to talk to people. I'm not sure. I'm uncomfortable. Then create systems. Because that way you're the expert. If you give a touch point, you create a system, a video, content, whatever it is, you have them do it, you're the expert. The messenger can really mess up the message. And that's a big one. Gabriel, I can't be like you. I don't know how to speak like you. I haven't had all these years. I don't make the money you make. Oh, you want to, okay, perfect example. You know what I did? So many people were calling me for so many years in so many different organizations, in so many different companies, in so many different teams that I wrote a book. Why? I said, listen, I appreciate that. I'm very encouraged for you. This is not an impossible thing to overcome, or those are great questions. You know what? For $20, whatever it is now on Amazon, I gotta look. If you get my book, it'll cover so many of these mindset things. And then you know what? If you have questions after that, I will be glad. Now, I don't tell everybody, go read my book and then come talk to me. But I'm talking about those people out there that I would never have the capacity to have the time for. I had to create systems dependency. I need to work with my close team. I need to work with those people that hire me to speak to their teams. I need to speak to the people that that I owe my time to, that are close to me, right? That my family, my select close business partners, things like this. But as you start to spread out, I mean, I love the biblical analogy. I mean, you know, Jesus had the 1, the 3, the 12, the 70, and they were all, it's almost like a rank and file. And I'm not saying don't help people. All I'm saying is you can't help everybody. So you have to be selective, system dependent, not personality dependent. I'm almost done. Another thing is, hey, watch this video. Once you have if this answers your questions, fantastic. If not, write your questions down after you watch it and I'll get with you. Because at least you're creating a filtering agent. If you will create 3 things: hours of operation, if you will understand how the money works, and you will create systems dependency, you'll actually enjoy your business. You'll actually make more money because what you do duplicates. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Because if your life is messy, or you're not the best orator, or you don't feel comfortable in front of people, or some people are just all over the place. And if they're all over the place, they're going to gather people and they're going to be the example, and they're going to be all over the place and they're going to teach. So you have just this mass chaotic team. If somebody is excellent and knows the money, has hours of operation, understands systems dependency, not personality dependency, they'll attract people that are not apologetic about the money, people that are structured in their time and they respect themselves enough to have time, and they'll also create systems dependency so that they can duplicate well. If you want massive success, you have to have duplication in your favor. And another thing I did on top of the book was I created a course. I have another course in the works. I'm actually working on my Audible. Why? Because I can say, hey, watch this 3-hour course that I've spent 30 years of anguish putting together, and I give you the high points. And for a few $100s, somebody's able to save years and get decades of information from me. The book I wrote, right, for $24 or whatever it is, $20, $24. Guess what? They read that book, they're going to save years or decades and get the high points, and it's going to help them immensely in their business. Why am I creating a new course that I'm not going to tell anybody about yet, right? Because it's going to give people a mental perspective that elevates them to understand, wow, this is the only problem I have. Now I understand what it is. Now I can target it, and their whole life will be different. Why am I doing my Audible? I love Audible. People drive there. Last night, right? I did in my closet. I did a full rearranging of my closet, right? My wife has her own closet. I have my own closet. And so I had it all spread all over the place. And I was playing an Audible book for 2 hours while I was cleaning my closet upstairs. And it was amazing. So I'm creating an Audible so that people can drive on, they can take trips on the way to work, back and forth. They can hear me talking about Cut It Out with the inflection and the way that I talk, because not everybody has time for a book anymore. Remember, I did say, hey, get my book, it'll help you. But some people just aren't going to. They'd rather have it on Audible. So it's still a book, it's just an Audible book. That's why you have to create systems dependency, because it multiplies who you are, and it creates, and every time somebody gets the information you have, and you can keep them from making all the mistakes, and they can crest and rest on the high points, you've duplicated yourself. Every time you duplicate yourself, you're multifold increased in your efficiency in life. It's amazing. Having kids, right? Aiden is 16, he's almost 17. Hudson is 13, almost 14. Little Adeline, right? I think she's 45, even though she's 6.5. She's so smart, right? They're always with me in business, right? They're always doing something. They're not in the car now, but they're always with me. And Aiden, because of his age and driver's license and all this, and his understanding in business and social media and what he does, I mean, experts of major companies are asking him, hey, Aiden, how do you do this and this and this? And what's the secret to that and this? And at his age, he understands it. And he's also grown up around excellence and around entrepreneurialism. And so he is not an almost 17-year-old. He's another version of me. So I've technically duplicated myself, but he's also going to do it better than me, faster than me, more efficiently than me, with more wisdom than I have. And that's what you want. That is why systems dependency is so critical. Anyway, again, you get your hand and your head around these 3 key points, and you can create a massive wave of momentum for you and your organizations, your business, and whatever entrepreneurial endeavor you are pursuing.